Are you there and you have been trying to stop excessive consumption of alcohol? This video is yours. In today's episode, we bring you 10 steps that you can take to conquer your alcohol addiction. Join us on this episode of The Sober Drive. I'm Elizabeth with my colleague
Vincent. I hope you've been doing great since our last meeting. I would like to first say thank you for subscribing our channel, liking our content and sharing it with people that you think might be interested, and always advising us. Of course, your feedback has been doing a great job to us. In today's episode, we know that sometimes there are people outside there, or you're there, and you've been trying to voluntarily drop your alcohol addiction and you didn't know how to do it. In this video, we are going to be analyzing 10 steps, one after the other, that you can go through to get relief or to break the chains of your drinking spell. And I think we are going to straight away dive into the very first one.
Step number 1. Usually, they always tell us the first step to change is acceptance.
Definitely.
Yeah, so step 1, if you're there and you're struggling with dropping excessive alcohol drinking habits, accept. It's step number 1. And in you accepting, we come with trying to find out why you think you're addicted to drinking, or why you think you are actually drinking excessive amounts of alcohol. Usually, we are told that you cannot find solutions to problems that you do not have. That is why we deem it very important that you find out the reason as to why you take excessive amounts of alcohol, because we cannot treat what we do not understand. We could treat symptoms, but if we treat symptoms without knowing causes, that means that we can have a successful stay without alcohol use. It can go for about 2 months or 3 months, but because we did not treat the root cause of your excessive drinking, you will find that we shall go back into the cycle. So this means that you cannot get help. You cannot get good help, excellent help to curb alcohol addiction unless you know exactly what is bringing about your addiction. People have different addictions. We have those that are addicted from trauma. We have those ones that are addicted from injuries, like we talked about in our first episode. We have those ones that have become addicts because of the circles. So knowing your why is important, in that it can help to even give us the exact correct measures, because people that have different causes of addiction are treated differently. If it is trauma, we shall have to go back and nurse the trauma. If it is depression, we shall treat you in that direction.
In addition to understanding reasons as to why you started drinking, it is also imperative for you to understand the reason as to why you should quit drinking. Sometimes, if you do not, you don't have that particular reason as to why you must try as much as possible for you to stop drinking, you will not have that reason to continue trying when you face some, falls somewhere. But if you know that perhaps my marriage is at stake, or I was sacked from my job, I'm now unemployed, I should work on myself such that I can find a new job, you find that particular reason to keep trying until you make it. That's why you need to understand both the reasons as to why you started drinking and why you should stop drinking. If you don't have the reason for stopping, you won't do it. But if you have one, you try as much as you can to stop.
Step number 2, remove all access to alcohol. This is very important, because when you're trying to stop consumption of alcohol, usually it is not a one-day thing. It is not going to happen in a month or 2 or 3, but you take one step at a time, usually with the guidance of, they usually call them partners.
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah, they have partners in recovery homes. And these are not there to show you that people that are addicted are actually weak. but it is because we need this kind of support. We are trying to eliminate your exposure to alcohol, because if you have in your closet, in your bedroom, children hide them in their school bags, they pack them at night. If you have, some people have actually gone a mile by keeping them in the cisterns. Addicts, their habits of addiction that do not come because people want, but because they are powerless over their own addiction. So removing all access to alcohol can be the other step that can help you to curb your addiction.
For the start, it is going to be very hard for someone who is addicted to drinking alcohol on a daily basis for you to stop suddenly to drink. That's why it is a task, or it is a step that you should take when you're serious and you're trying, knowing that you're having all these withdrawal effects or withdrawal syndrome, but it is a cause that is forcing, or it is the driver that is taking you towards, healing from your addiction. If you remove access, it will mean that you're not going to drink, or you're not going to have anything telling you to drink. So I believe if someone removed access, then definitely there is no way you're going to start, wanting to take something that is not available.
Step number 4, talk to a doctor. This also speaks to seeking help. Nobody is going to know that you're struggling with an addiction. We can know, the neighbors can know, family members can know, but usually it is up to you to seek help. Why? Because people are busy and nobody is going to come looking out for you, because you're sleeping on the road, you have failed to fulfill your employment obligations or family responsibility, or you're destroying your liver because of alcohol. People are dealing with so much. These days, society is individualistic, so nobody is going to look out for you. Seek help, talk to a doctor. There are trained medical personnel, and there are so many departments in hospitals. There are recovery homes. So you trying to seek help and talking to a doctor, it is important, as the doctor will be able to advise you on how to fight your drinking.
Actually, talking to the doctor is not embarrassing. Sometimes people think, I'll feel small. And if I happen to talk to my friends, I feel small. Maybe they will judge me. I'll be embarrassed. But a doctor is a trained technician or personnel to handle these issues. And trust me, there is medication for alcoholism. And if you want, I think that's why it is having a medical term of alcohol use disorder. So they can help you to improve. They can give you the medical procedures you can take or you can go through to improve your addiction.
Step 5.
Step 5, find your support. A journey from addiction is not as simple as waking up and you start. Actually, starting is very easy than stopping. So if you want to stop drinking, you need those people that will keep reminding you, that will guide you, that will encourage you that actually this is possible. I think that's why when people go to rehabilitation centers or when you start gathering, they give you a group of people that sometimes you share problems and they can help you to tell you that this is possible. They will remind you that, Vincent, today you should not drink. Vincent, we agreed that instead of drinking, every evening we're having maybe drills or we must go to the gym. Such that instead of drinking, you're replacing that the habit with a more healthy behavior or hobby that you can have to stop drinking. But all you should do is finding support, because these people will help you, 1, to know that you're not alone, 2, to remind you not to go back to where you had decided to live. So it is very, very important, if you want to change your drinking patterns, to have that support.
Step number 6, try as hard as you can to discover or find out your triggers. This can happen before you even start treatment or while you're actually on treatment. But why it is important to discover your own triggers? It is because when you know that me hanging out with a group of friends that are drinking, because they are drinking, and these are people you have been associating with, you have been drinking for years, but you choose yourself, you make a decision to stop that drinking. Try as much as possible to do what, to avoid or to limit how often you go out to drinking places with those people. Your triggers could also come from, the psychological bit of it. Maybe the ladies that have been unfortunate and have gone through assault, that could be your trigger to alcohol. So it is very important to discovering your triggers. Some include even being alone, alone and idle. You could end up using that time to cover or console it with alcohol.
I would not like to add anything on that. I think we should just move to the next one. The other issue that you should do if you want to stop drinking is setting goals. It is hard for you to just wake up and you say that today I'm stopping drinking, or I'm going to stop, because it is a process. It is something that you've been doing for some good time, so it will require you to take some good time for you to recover completely from it. But in your journey, or when you wake up and you're like, now I'm determined, I'm going to stop drinking, set that goal. Some goals can be a broader one, or the big picture. That is the very action you want to take. Like, the big goal now should be stopping drinking. That is it. But it is hard, like it is complex for you to say that my goal is to stop drinking,
and so I'll
stop. So you will have to set some sub goals, if I can say,
or small
goals that you should do, such that they can help you to drive you to the bigger goal. For example, you can set a goal that maybe by the end of every week I must have gone to the gym at around this time 4 times.
And the time that you usually used to drink,
of course,
substitute it to
if
going
you know
to the gym.
That normally you drink at around 7, just say every week I must at least go to the gym 4 times at 7. Because normally, at 7, maybe you're idle or you're having your friends. So that's the time you drink. Instead of going with them, your goal of going to the gym will divert you. And then some other, you can say, in the next 1 week, I'm going to join a support system or a support group. It will help you. Moving towards achieving that goal will help you to stop drinking, or it will help you to seek help from the support.
And maybe also other examples of small goals that you can set to help you, because as we said, quitting any kind of addiction is not a one-day journey. So we can start with if you've been taking 4 glasses per day, you can start by eliminating 1. You can set yourself and decide that, since I've been taking 4, let me reduce and I take 3. And then if you manage to hit that target at the end of the month, then you can say, now let me eliminate the second one. So you stay with just 1 drink per day. This is something that is not going to happen. You're not just going to wake up one day and then you stop the drinking. This is why we need to set these small goals, such that you don't feel overwhelmed, you don't feel disappointed when you don't fulfill those goals, you don't feel fatigued. And maybe the other small goal that you can try to set is to try. You can have we promised, by the way, and we are still working on it. We are organizing a 10-day sobriety drive. It is going to be an online drive, but we are going to engage with so many of you because we have gotten feedback from people that are actually willing to work on their alcohol habits. So you can start by that. Small goals means you can wake up and then you say, I'm going to start a 5-day sobriety campaign, and you can do it. And once you hit these first 5 days, you add 6. When you hit the 6, you add 10, like that. And before you know it, you will be good.
Besides setting goals, there is this small one, people tend to despise it, but it works, and it has worked for me before about something, writing it down. When you write something, it is like a commitment. Actually, when you write it, don't write it in the middle of your book or somewhere in your diary.
On the wall.
Write it and pin it somewhere you can see that maybe, Vincent, from today onwards, I should stop drinking. It will help you. It will be like a reminder for your brain always to keep it remembering that, Vincent, you should not drink. And most of the times, things you write, they are like a commitment that I'm going to do it. So since you're committing yourself and you can put it in writing, it can help you to stop your drinking behavior and probably stopping drinking completely.
Discovering new hobbies. It may not be necessarily discovering new hobbies, but you can as well work on those ones that you already have. We have people that love music a lot. I'm a music lover. We have people that are footballers. We have people that love doing charity. We have people that love doing photography. So once you discover your hobbies or things that you love doing while you are not occupied, I think it helps, because you can substitute this drinking with your hobby, and this step does not only help with addiction, but with so many other things. People that have been having mental challenges, instead of hiding behind in your room, behind closed doors and crying and worrying about what is going to happen the next day, they usually advise them to engage or take part in something that they love doing.
I think the other thing you can do is visiting a therapist. Most especially in Africa, we don't take therapy as something that is very serious. Whenever people think about talking to someone or sharing with someone what they are going through and how they can go
in
through
Africa, actually, people really think, okay, they have painted therapy to be a luxurious service,
it is for some
like
group
that.
of people, like maybe for the rich people.
They also look at it as an engagement for weak people, something like that.
Yeah. So, but therapy actually helps, because there are very many things you don't know, actually, even about yourself, that other people can tell you. And they are experts that are experienced helping people achieve what you want to achieve. So, if you feel like you're now set, you're determined to stop drinking, it is advisable that you seek professional guidance from a therapist. Whenever you go there, I don't know how many times you can be visiting a week. It will depend with the person you're coordinating with or that particular specialist. But it will help you, because every time you go, you'll be sharing about how far you've gone. Maybe when it comes to your small goal of non-drinking in a particular week, how far you have moved and all that. It will help you improve your drinking your drinking routine, and at the end of the day, it will help you to drop alcohol consumption for good if you're determined.
The last step. There are so many steps, but for today we said we shall cover 10. So the last one that is coming in, you should have a plan for what you're going to do, just in case your alcohol craving kicks in. This has no warning. You could be at the football pitch with friends. You could be actually in a classroom. We have issues and cases where people actually leave class to go to the toilet and sip.
So I think when you're setting a plan, you should include those things that you would like to replace with drinking. For example, I would say that, in case maybe I feel like one day or the other drinking comes back, I should do A, B, C, D. For example, you can say, whenever I feel like drinking, if I was alone, I would think about finding other people to be with, maybe finding a company. Whenever you bring people and you're exchanging, there is a way they help you to forget or to divert your mind from what you've been thinking about. So maybe you can try that. You can set a plan. You design something you should do in case a craving comes in a particular setting. Maybe if not just alone, and you're with the friends, you used to drink with them, and then you're stopping, and then you feel like, since we are together, maybe one bottle. You can say, maybe in case this comes, I should maybe go back home.
And this is also why we mentioned about having a support system, because usually, not even usually, when your cravings come back, it is very important to have these close people that understand you, people that actually know what you're going through, and people that are willing to help you. So having close people that you can talk to while your cravings for alcohol come back could be actually one thing that you can include in your plans for what to do once your cravings for alcohol kick in.
So all these steps we've discussed, and many more, there are very many others that you can maybe use. There are very many things you can try doing to divert you from drinking. But these ones are fundamental, and if you tried them, I'm very sure they could help you to change your drinking patterns.
Just a reminder, as usual, please use the comment section. Let us know how we can help. Give us feedback, because we are working on this together as a society for the good of each and everybody of us. Until next time, bye.